Alright, what's up everybody, it's Reclaimer, and welcome to the first episode of a new series. So just to touch on this whole idea, because it's been a little while since I talked to you guys about it, but basically the idea of this series is, it's called So Your ... And for those of you that are like YouTube OGs, then you might remember that Hutch, actually, who is another content creator who's been around forever, did a series like this back in 2012, or did this series. It's basically, I'm totally ripping him off, but it's a cool idea and I like it, and it sort of fits in with the whole real talk theme that we're going for, and he hasn't done it in like 6 years. So anyway, Hutch did this series called So Your, where basically it would be sort of a real talk style of video that I like to do, and you know, he would have his comments or, you know, Twitter or whatever suggest a word to fill in the blank for, you know, so you're lonely, so you're unmotivated, so you're, you know, whatever. And so I figured that fits pretty well with the whole real talk thing that I enjoy doing on this channel, and so I thought that that we'd try it out, and maybe you guys could suggest some topics, and I could give you guys you know, give you guys some opinions of mine or advice or personal experiences or whatever. Obviously, just to preface this and just to be upfront with you guys, I am 18 years old. I have not lived a lot of my life, and so personal experience and advice is gonna be like iffy, but I feel like I'm generally a pretty well-spoken guy, and I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it might be helpful to I don't know, to hear somebody talk about it, maybe whatever it is that you're dealing with. And it doesn't have to be super serious topics like, I don't know, depression or, you know, being lonely or whatever. It doesn't have to be super serious all the time. Of course, I definitely do want to talk about some of those things, but it doesn't have to be that all the time. It could be like, so you're, one of the suggestions I got was, so you're wanting to become a YouTuber or a streamer, right? It could be like anything. So you're wanting to become better at the game, whatever, man. But for this first episode, I wanted to do So You're Unmotivated, because it's something that that I've been dealing with pretty recently. For those of you that have been paying attention, I was gone for like 9 days and didn't upload and didn't stream and whatever else. And that's because I sort of hit that wall where I was going all the time, like just grinding, putting in a ton of hours, and it got old and I got super unmotivated, and that sort of feeds into some of the other things that I'm going to talk about. But yeah, man, I definitely hit that wall where I wasn't motivated, and not necessarily I wasn't seeing like the numbers that I wanted to, or wasn't seeing like the growth or, you know, the feedback that I wanted. It's just that I got to a point where everything was boring and I was super unmotivated to do anything, and I didn't want to play Halo, or I didn't want to play anything at all. I was tired, man. And so I really want to talk about it, because it's certainly hard, especially in a theater like this, when consistency is key, right? And you have to just keep going all the time. It's super hard to force yourself to just keep going and keep putting in that time and whatever else. And that applies with really anything that you put time into, whether it's school or your job, or, you know, YouTube or streaming, or getting better at a game, or sports, you know, really like whatever, right? So I sort of just wanted to tell you guys about my experience. And so yesterday, in the beginning of yesterday's video, I told you guys about how I took, you know, 8 or 9 days off, and I said that I was going to talk to you guys about it. So basically, I was a counselor at my summer camp that I go to every single year, and I knew that it was coming up, and I knew that I was like super burned out and unmotivated, and I didn't want to do anything. And so basically it had been building up for a while, right? I went to the CX house for like 2.5 weeks in June, and the entire time I was there, like, Cole and Tyler even like mentioned it to me, because we were trying to put in hours on Halo 5, and everybody else was putting in so much more time than me, and they started to notice it, because I would play for like an hour or two and then get off and then be done. And they were not like worried, but they were like definitely a little concerned that, like, or they were kind of like, you know, what's going on? Like, we're putting in all these hours trying to stream and whatever else, and you're not into it. And so it's, yeah, man, I hit that wall, and I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to hang out and watch movies, and, you know, not really do anything. It was super unmotivated. And so I knew that I had this whole summer camp thing coming up, and I intentionally, like, I definitely could have made some videos to have go up on my channel while I was away, but I very intentionally, like, didn't like kill myself to put together a bunch of videos for while I was gone, especially because along with being unmotivated, I think it's very hard for you to be creative, and that's certainly part of being a YouTube creator is being creative, right, and doing original things. I'm not the most original YouTuber by any means, but it's part of being a YouTuber is being creative, and so part of being unmotivated is, I don't know, man, it's very hard to get those creative juices flowing and whatever else comes with that. I don't know why I can't hit this guy. Yeah, so I very intentionally did not make any videos for while I was gone because I just wanted to completely unplug, right? I just wanted to be done for a while, and that's what I did. I took a break for like 8 or 9 days. I watched a little bit of HCS New Orleans, but aside from that, I was completely unplugged from the internet. I didn't look at Twitter a whole lot. I didn't go on YouTube. I didn't do anything, right? I was unplugged, and I took that time to hang out with my friends, and obviously I was a counselor, and I had a bunch of 7th grade guys in my cabin, and so I was paying attention to them, and I spent a week basically hanging out with my friends and playing dodgeball and softball and going swimming and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, man, moral of the story is I took that time to unplug, and I know it seems like a super simple solution for a problem like that is to take a break, but like honestly, if you can come up with some sort of distraction for yourself or some sort of like break that pulls you out of it, like obviously, like if you're just sitting at home and you're super unmotivated and you just decide to like not touch your Xbox or whatever, like that might be a little bit hard to be like, oh, just like hang out or whatever. But if you can go hang out with friends, if you can go out with your family, or if you can just come up with something to do, like go running, I don't know, man, take a walk, do whatever it is that you need to do to just like get away from it and like not pay attention to whatever, because that break for me personally like really like helped me to recharge. The phrase is like recharge your batteries, but really helped me to like, I don't know, man, I came back after those 8 days or those 9 days or whatever else, and I was just ready to go. Like I came back, was it Sunday or Saturday afternoon maybe, and then Sunday I spent all day with my friends, and we went and hung out, and we went hiking over by, there's like this trail by this bridge where I live, and so we went over and went like hiking for a day, and like we're planning a road trip for this Friday. And so I'm doing my best to like sort of like find other things to do, because it's very easy to like get burned out on things. So I know that I talked a lot about getting burnt out, right? And that's not all like obviously if you're unmotivated for something, like that's not the one solution is to go take a break or whatever. Like that worked for me because I was like burnt out and I was super unmotivated, but like it's really, really hard to force yourself to do things, or to I don't know, to stay consistent and to stay on that grind whenever you're feeling that way. And so I've talked about motivation and things like that before on this channel. And so one of the things I would say is to definitely surround yourself with the right kind of people and put yourself in the right kind of environment, because I think it's very easy, especially in like the gaming community, to be surrounded by toxicity, which is super negative and really does not help you in that regard, because staying, I don't know, man, it's really hard to stay motivated and to stay consistent in whatever it is that you're trying to do whenever you've got any form of toxicity around you, whether it be a person or a group of people or the environment itself or your own attitude. It's, I don't know, I would definitely say something that's super helpful to remember is to put yourself in the correct environment and to take steps to make sure that you are surrounded by positivity, because positivity seriously works wonders for you and your motivation. Because I don't know, man, I'm lucky enough to have a great group of friends that are all creative and sort of like-minded, and so they push me whenever I'm feeling like shit or feeling unmotivated. They push me to get off my ass and do stuff and be productive, you know. So, but even if it's not that, even if it's not like yeah, you might need a pep talk from your friend or whatever, but like that also might not be what you need. Like you might need, I don't know, man, you might just need somebody to like be nice to you or to love you in the right way, man. It's something that we talked about a lot this week at my summer camp, and I'm not gonna get too deep into religion here. I'm gonna try to avoid that, but the camp that I went to was a Christian summer camp. Like it was a church camp, and so one of the things that we talked about was like, in order to be, I don't know, I'm trying to be really careful with how I say this, but basically we talked about how with being like a member of the church or whatever, like you don't have to run around throwing Bible verses at people, right? You can just like be nice to somebody or be accepting of somebody, no matter what their, you know, whatever it is that makes them different. You know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm getting at here? It's like just loving somebody in the right way might make all the difference, as opposed to, I don't know, man. I think we get hung up a lot on, and this is sort of related to the whole church thing, but I think we get real hung up on, we have to like convince people to go to church and whatever because it's super helpful and whatever, and you need to go to heaven and all this other shit. Like, I don't know, man. I just think it's always been my personal belief to love people in the right way, and that's like all that we really need to do. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't want to get too deep into that because I don't want to start throwing religion into the discussion here. But yeah, man. It's just, I think positivity and being an uplifting presence are the two most important things. And I think that if you surround yourself with people like that, or even if you yourself, I think even perhaps more importantly, if you yourself are a positive and uplifting force and presence, that it will do wonders for you and the other people around you. And so, yeah, man, it's just, oh Jesus Christ. I know that's sort of similar to what I've said in like my positivity acceptance videos, but I think it's a message that you should probably never stop repeating or never stop hearing, is because there's a shit ton of negativity in our world today, and so I feel like it's really easy to get hung up on all that. And so yeah, back to being unmotivated though. Surround yourself with a positive environment. Take a break. You know. Holy shit. But yeah, those are the things that I did, and the things that in my experience have helped me to sort of get over my humps, as it were, when it comes to being unmotivated, because I've definitely had experience with that, and definitely, like, obviously very recently I've had experience with that. So I hope any bit of that is helpful to you guys, because I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna pretend that I'm a genius or that I've been through crazy experiences or whatever else. Like, obviously, I'm 18 years old and I still have a lot of life left to live, and so yeah, I'm not gonna pretend that my advice is like gonna be perfect or whatever else, or I'm gonna have some crazy personal experience to be able to call upon. But yeah, I hope either way that you guys can take away something helpful from that. And so yeah, I think that's gonna be the first episode of So Your. So remember, leave your suggestions for So Your ... in the comments. Make sure you join my Discord, because we're gonna be talking about it a lot. Follow me on Twitter. Links to everything are in the description, along with Twitch, Instagram, merchandise, Patreon, all that stuff. So yeah, leave your suggestions for so your ... in the comments below. And yeah, man, like I said, I hope you guys were able to take away something from that. I hope that was at least a little bit helpful to you guys. But yeah, it's gonna do it for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Likes appreciated. Subscribe if you're new. Much respect as always, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another brand new video. Goodbye.